you join me in the desert. The reason being, so I actually recorded like probably over 2 hours, 3 hours worth of footage, but the first lot, for some reason the microphone didn't record. I just plugged it in and out again and it worked. And then the second time, my power cut and it corrupted all the footage. So I lost pretty much everything that I did, which ended up in me exploring the map a little bit, which is why I'm here. This is where my power cut, and it obviously saved just before. I did go over here, but I'm going to head back and I will kind of show you what I've been up to. But yeah, it looks like these forested areas are going to have a lot more resources in them, so I might have to start making my way inland a bit. The desert didn't really have much. Yeah, there's tons of iron around here. If you look at that map, you can see a little tractor floating about there. I'll explain why in a minute. Okay, so we're obviously close by now. I can see some of my structures. I forgot I made that little bit at the back, so you can kind of walk out the back and see what it looks like. Right, so to our right, I've got the oil factory, well, oil refinery. That's making plastic and rubber. And you can now see this little sort of conveyor system going down the side, and then it actually travels underneath. That's carrying fuel, and the reason it's carrying fuel, if I jump down here, you'll kind of see there's some changes to the foundry area. It's not exclusively a foundry anymore, but you can kind of see that the fuel goes under the road, under here, and it actually comes up and goes in here and into this truck station. A tractor comes backwards and forwards and drops off modular frames and screws, and this is a smart splitter that I unlocked, which will sort of cart these off into their boxes. I've made an extra large box for the screws and just a box for the modular frames. They're kind of like buffers, because when they were just feeding straight from the truck stop into the splitter and straight into this manufacturer, it was backing up and I wasn't able to get access to all the resources. So just putting these as buffers has helped that. It lets me unload the truck station, and you can kind of see it's a bit of a convolute system. It comes out and goes in, and then comes all the way around and then the manufacturer. Everything else goes underneath. If we have a look here, we've got modular frames, steel pipe, encased industrial beams and screws, and they're all being delivered at a pretty good rate. The only issue we're going to have is, like, steel pipe is not, well, I'm not making as much of that as I would like. So in fact, steel in general is not where I would like it to be. We definitely need to be making more. And you can kind of see these pop out the back and come into here. And I've got quite a few now. Now, the purpose for needing these was to build like train stations, and here it is. So I actually started this. This was going to be a construction. This is a train station. It's called Scovide C. I can change that, I hope. I'm going to call that the factory. I don't even know if that's a word. Anyway, I've not set up any of that stuff because I've not actually finished the line yet. And you can kind of see it's a little bit all over the place. I also found out the train stops dead. It doesn't go off the tracks, which is quite good, because we don't want any train crashes here. But you can kind of see it goes very well. It doesn't slow down going uphill much. And you can kind of see it goes. I'm just going to run this. Now, there will be an element of automation I will introduce at some point. However, at the moment, I will just manually use it backwards and forwards. It's really cool effects you get of these. I don't know what these are, like batteries or something. Oh, I forgot you get the horn as well, and it just stops. So yeah, this is a really cool thing. And I just placed the hub on top of here as well. So I'm quite happy with that. The key right now is automation. So even although I have these heavy modular frames sort of automated, they're not going at a rate that is I'm happy about. And I'm going to have to automate the creation of computers. Right, so that means cable, plastic and screws. So I actually think it would be quite prudent to find somewhere where it has oil, copper. And how do we make circuit boards again? I think it's an assembler. Yeah, so it's just copper and plastic. Right, so I've decided the best scenario would probably be to head back to my original factory, use the copper nodes there, because I only have 2 copper nodes, or 3 copper nodes back there, and I'm only using one or two. So let me pick up my explorer. I'll head back. I'll tear that down. And I'm going to make that so it's dedicated to making cable, copper sheeting, and wire. Now I have to be careful for my tractor because this is a road that's used by the tractor. I have no idea how he's not fallen off just yet. And you can kind of see this road that I built here. It just sort of joins on here. It is an ugly road, but it does what I need it to do. And I'll just park up here. So I'll take what I need, and I will burn everything else. Not going to make me much, but it'll get rid of all these resources inside of these containers. I'll give it a few minutes. I've now got 2 awesome sinks on the go. Try and get all these resources burned as quickly as possible. I'm not going to make many coupons out of this, but it just kind of winds everything down a little bit. I can't remember how many of these copper ore bits we have. Just the 2. And there's another one over there. I'm just going to let these work away. Okay, so that's pretty much this whole little factory kind of done. It's almost finished wrapping up. So I can start tearing it down a little bit. I got 2 tickets out of burning all of those resources. I mean, there was tens of thousands of resources. And I got 2 tickets out of it. And I'm only just over halfway of getting a 3rd one. But, I mean, it's better than nothing, to be fair. This one I think is almost empty. Yeah. So that'll be empty soon. Tear down what I can. So very close to being able to just wrap all of this up. That's it. My original copper site completely stripped bare. Ready for renewal. So let me just open this up. So I'm going to switch to concrete now instead of metal because I prefer the concrete. But first let me just test this. Make sure I can mine on top of this. Yeah, I can. That's good. Although I've just realised I don't actually have the resources for making it. Huh. And all my modular frames are going over to make the heavy modular frames. So that's kind of problematic. I should have really focused on improving my sort of factory as well. My iron factory. Because this is all running pretty slow. Like, these are still Veribelt Mark 1. Oh, it's just the idea of pulling all this down, and I'm just dreading that thought. Right, I'm going to nip back and grab encased industrial beams. That's kind of the only thing I need. And maybe grab some steel pipe as well. So what we want is some of these. Wow, I've got loads. Well, I may as well actually take these and put these in the hub because I need some of these for the expanded power infrastructure milestone. So I may as well fire them in. It's just computers I need. I've got enough of those. I'll put them in. I should have enough rubber because I've got rubber getting punted out. So it's just the computers I need. Right, so I think it's quite important that I get back to building this railway. Because this is going to be my main link. I know it's not the smoothest looking railway in history, but nonetheless it will do the job. So I'll pop it through here. I will have to come along with a chainsaw at some point. At the moment this is going to be like a nice little train ride through the jungle. It's actually relatively inexpensive to lay the train lines, which I'm quite happy about. It's just a little bit glitchy sometimes where you're going to when you're going to lay it. It contorts quite well to the ground though, so that's quite impressed by that. So we have the railway. I'll be building my new factory over here, so I need a couple of computers and I can put the final railway station. Yeah, there's computers. Everything's computers now, that's the problem. So I'm just going to run along this line and take down any trees that are sitting in the way. Because we don't want any accidents. I don't know if it's necessary to cut that one, but better be on the safe side. These aren't going to be an issue. That one, yeah, probably. There we are. These are definitely an issue. It's a shame that I'm taking down this big tree, but it is a health and safety hazard. Now the train should have a free path all the way. The good thing is it doesn't cost any resources, it's just run on electricity. You can kind of see the wattage it's using, megawatts, 30 megawatts. Yes, so the megawatts goes up as it goes uphill, down as it goes downhill. Kind of like how miles per gallon works in a car. Makes sense. Now let me see what happens if I put a freight car down. Okay, so if I put something in it, that's cool. Let's see how we do. Right, so the megawatts has went up drastically. But we can reverse. And it seems to be getting through this absolutely no bother. It's a bit of a roller coaster. Like this bit, definitely a bit of a roller coaster. But much faster than other methods of travel. And there we go. What happens now? Yep, it's dead. Stop dead. Now I want to see if I can get it across this water. So this can go into the water. That's kind of mad. I'd rather not do that. Now I haven't actually checked to see if there's a way in here. So that's something I need to do. I've got the railway coming over the water like this. And I've got these pylons in the water. Hoping I can get to my oil factory through this way. Maybe not. Oh jeez, something's attacked me. I mean, I'll probably be able to bring it up this way. Might not be too much of an issue. Should actually grab fuel while I'm here. Looks like it's backed up. What's going on? Oh, yeah. That should actually be rubber. I forgot I was making plastic for a while. There's a doggo. Oh. I just ran through the hole. I still can't get one. Why didn't none of them want to be my friend? So I think it would be really cool. Have the train come up through here. I think that would be possible. Wait, I'm going to lay the line. Then see what happens. There we go. So now I have a train track that goes all the way from the oil factory to the iron factory. The only thing is it doesn't go up to like the quartz area, but it's not like you use quartz for much anyway. So let me just jump in and test this track. And through the tree. And that just holds in place. I like it. And I could probably put some sort of train station around here somewhere. I'm not quite sure yet. I'll probably have something elevated here. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm kind of getting a feel for how all this works. I kind of want to just bring that track down for fun. Like just bring it down to here. Because these tracks won't be permanent. I will put proper stations down and connect them. But right now I can use this train to go backwards and forwards to where I need to be and speed up the whole sort of process of building. So I'm going to back all the way. And I'm going to see how long it takes me. Oh wow, that uses a lot of power to get up. Let me see how long it takes me to get to the other side. I assume it doesn't just dead stop at a train station. No, it goes right through it. Man, I bet there's people who are fantastic at building these systems. Just see this and it looks like a fucking horror show. There's my tractor. Am I going to be faster than my tractor? I suspect so. Way faster. 140 kilometers an hour. And there we are, we're all the way back to the desert. What was that, maybe like a minute? Less than a minute? I'm pretty happy with that. That's awesome. The thing I really need is the computers, so now I really need to just figure out how to automate them. And it all starts with building a copper factory, where my old one used to stand, right here. So, I'm going to get on that. You join me after I've torn down all of the old cement factory and the old copper factory, and this is what I have now. So it's not much difference. These are all Mark II and Mark III belts. This is actually a MAM. I'm currently got a hard drive. It's been scanned. Another 5 minutes to go. So these now produce copper ore at 120 per minute instead of 60, so it's doubled, which means I can double my smelters. These will make 30 copper ore per minute. So I have 240 copper ore coming out of these, and they'll all go into constructors and produce some copper sheet, specifically mostly copper sheet because that's what I'm needing for the electronics. So if you look in the assembler, circuit boards, they need copper sheeting and plastic, and AI limiters need copper sheeting and quick wire. So we've produced copper sheeting here. In fact, I forgot to look at the numbers for those. So the circuit boards need 15 per minute. AI limiters need 25 per minute. So we need 40 per minute copper sheeting at least. So 2 of these produce 60 per minute, which means I can fire into 3 constructors, and these will make 30 per minute. So space is going to be an issue, but I will figure that out. I've got plenty of concrete, so there's plenty of space I can expand out into, and I'll show you why I've got plenty of concrete. I'm just going to run over here, and you can kind of see it in the distance. So here's the old container for concrete. You can always top up from that. But this is my new shiny cement factory. And you can see it filling up nicely there. It's not super fast. It's a little bit faster than the old one. And it's a little bit better looking. Or maybe it's just ugly. I don't know. A little door here. Takes us into our miner. It's taking about 120 per minute. And it takes them out the back. And I'll show you. Goes up here. Connects into the top, which I've put a nice little stairwell in for. You get a little nice view of the area. When we come in here, we've got a couple of constructors, a glass roof. You can see the space elevator, the rock formation, another window here so you can look out. But these are punting out concrete at 20 per minute each, so I've got 40 concrete per minute coming down here. That's more than what I need just for construction. There's not much else that uses the concrete, and that is, at the moment, it's just hooked up to this old power lines that we have running. We'll call them legacy power lines because they will get removed at some point. Right, so I'm going to get back to building at least the wing that's going to be dedicated to putting out copper sheeting. Okay, so I've put these mergers down for 4 of them, which means the output for copper ingots should be 120 per minute coming out of here, which is fine because our belts can handle something like 270, I think, 240 maybe. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to create 60 copper sheeting per minute. Right, anyway, we'll merge all of these. Right, I'm happy with that. Because of how much room these constructors take up, I'm probably going to have to do like a second floor for these ones. That takes it up. The constructors aren't that large. They don't need any walls higher than this, I don't think. So this is kind of going to be my design idea for the copper factory. I'm going to have these tall miners, just sort of encased in like a nice little glass lined area. And that'll be coming down to a smaller roofed area with all the constructors. I think that looks okay. For somebody with my level of terrible architecture design. Right, I forgot about this hard drive. Right, so what's the options? An alternate flexible frame. Well, how's it alternate? What do we normally do? So we're getting rid of steel pipe. and change it with rubber. That is tempting, actually. I think I will go for that. That could really make a difference. I should go collect more hard drives. There we go. I'll put a slanted roof in instead. I think that's going to be more aesthetic. I'm going to jump back on the train, go get myself some fuel. But I'm quite happy with the way that looks at the moment. I mean, look how awesome all that looks. Driving to it on train. I'm going to pick up some rubber while I'm here. And try out that alternative recipe. I'm not really sure how rubber can replace steel. Doesn't seem safe to me. But I'm also not an expert. That's much better because I don't really use rubber for anything. But now I can use it for the heavy frames and keep the steel pipe. It'd be cool if you could put like a camber on the tracks so it sort of leans into the corners. So I think it's going to be tight. Yeah, they're literally going to be touching the top. Technically this is actually asphalt, not concrete, but I don't have concrete unlocked at the moment, so it'll be fine. I wonder if it would be better if I brought these glass roofs all the way along. Put a glass roof along here. I think that's pretty cool. And then we can continue these along in this fashion. They're reinforced, so it's okay to put them at the corners. So I don't know if that would look better, maybe having windows as well, but don't want to put too many windows. Okay, so it's kind of taking shape now. It kind of clips a little bit, but I think it's okay because you can't see it upstairs. But this is pretty cool. For now, I am going to put some power in because I don't want to end up having a messy power line structure. So that can go there. Right. So I've hung these power lines in a way that I hope, you know, isn't going to be very intrusive to look at. Okay, so everything is hooked up to power. It's not hooked up to power lines yet, so there's no power going to them because I haven't actually put a double outlet yet. Sort of coming out the back would make sense. Just there, maybe. And we'll just connect it to that power line over there. I'm not sure. I want to see what the power drain is going to be like. It's likely going to not be nice. There we go. All of these are up now. Yeah, maximum's 14,000. Why is that not working? It's not connected. That's why we test these things. So these are just going to end up making a bunch of copper ore that goes nowhere. And these should be making a ton of copper ore. As you can see, it's all starting to flow through. We should end up with quite a lot of copper sheets. That's it. I forgot the name. Right. Let me see where it might be backing up a little bit. Well, we seem to be going at a fine pace. I think I'm happy with that. It's the way I've laid this out. It's going to be kind of like the power factory when I made that. So it's not going to be working at a good capacity until this one fills up, for example. So once this one hits 100, then it'll start to fill up this one a bit more, and then it keeps going that way. That's the only problem with these layouts. These layouts, they take a little bit of time to become optimal. That's why it's good to get them started up quickly. So if we go to this last one here, he's not getting anything. When it's all said and done, this will be producing 120 per minute of those copper sheeting. Right, I'll just leave it to do that.